Now, this may not be the white tie and tiara ball, although I do think that most of you will probably make it on the guest list. But it is still an organisation. Our organisation is not the Elton John organisation, but it is an organisation at the coalface, or any other phrase one wants to use, a community organisation working on the ground. And that's important for us to remember, the community roots. People who have worked for the organisation, who continue to work for the organisation, who volunteer for the organisation, do so on a community basis across the city, and now as we have developed across the country. Challenges remain, as Miriam had said. In 2017 there were over 500 new diagnoses. Again in 2016 over 500 new diagnoses. The figures for this year, I'm told, are about 211 to date. And that astonishing statistic of one person, of 10 people a week, on average 10 people a week receiving that awful news that their life has changed as a result of this illness. And UNAIDS tell us that about 15% of people in Western Europe are living undiagnosed. So that means we have to do two things. We have to deal with testing and we have to deal with stigma. When I asked one of the senior medical professionals recently, when I landed in the job of chair, much to my surprise, former chairman having left, and it's the who puts your hand up last. I asked one of the senior medical professionals, what's your priority for us as an organisation? And what he answered, it was a Blairite answer, so due respect to all the politicians in the room, I don't know if he like Voldemort is not to be spoken about, but his Blairite answer was your priorities, testing, testing, testing. And for us, this organisation provided testing for over 1,000 people last year across 6 community centres. But we had to turn away 384 people because of a lack of resources to cope. Now, people make a very, very serious decision in their lives to choose to come and test with the risk that there is going to be an unhelpful answer. And it's not right that that should happen. And we need to do more and we need to do better. And your help here tonight and your assistance will help us to do that, and not to say to people who made the brave decision that I'm going to test that we can't assist. Because testing is so important. Many of you know this, some of you don't. Early testing means early treatment. Treatment means virus can be reduced to undetectable levels in the body, meaning that HIV cannot be passed on. There's a U plus U, or U equals U campaign. You may have seen this around. U equals U. And it means undetectable equals untransmittable. So the more people who are in treatment, the more people who are undetectable, the fewer people who will be at risk. Simple. But it requires testing. And it also means that when one looks at people who are untransmittable, it can take away the stigma of going out with somebody who has HIV, meeting somebody on a, dare we say, grinder or something, that has HIV. That it can deal with that stigma. So your help tonight will help us to provide those services. Can I just say a few thank yous? It's important. It's not the parish priest who runs the hall, but it is the important people who are here. Firstly, we have a super relationship with the medical people in this city. St James's Hospital and the Guide Clinic assist us in our testing. They are superb. We have a great relationship with our neighbours across Eccles Street and Mater. And I really want to say that it's very important to say this, and we're incredibly grateful to have Dr. Paddy Mallon, who's one of the leading consultants in this area. Paddy is a super tweeter, you must follow him, is a huge asset to the organisation. I thank him. I was going to just mention briefly some of the work that is done, for example, places like Dean Street in London. If you look at this, there's been a huge reduction in the numbers of cases in the UK. And part of it is because of an increased testing regime, but another part of it is to do with access to medications. We are a part of that. We are a part of the campaign to continue, the continuing campaign to achieve affordable and available PrEP medication, which is an important part of a safer sex strategy which reduces future infection. It's on its way. We strongly support it. We're involved in testing, we're also involved in training, and this is a really important part. One of the things about HIV Ireland is 30 years old. It was the Dublin AIDS Alliance, you will have remembered it, but it is the same organisation, same community groups. It has a huge store of knowledge in the people who work there. I want to particularly mention Susan Donnelly, who's here, but also Erin and Nugent. They have an enormous amount of knowledge, and that is passed on through training in a lot of ways, because we focus innovatively in training other groups, particularly a thing called Training for Trainers program. Let's talk about safer sex. And organisations have participated in that, including local and regional drug task forces, national youth organisations, local authorities and national traveller organisations. It's a really useful thing to train those who in the future are going to go out and talk to other people who are at risk. And I thank you for that service that you provide. Can I thank our partners across the country, Galway, Cork and Limerick. I want to mention Know Now. It is, Adam Shanley is here and others who are part of the service. It's rapid testing in accessible places. And I also should acknowledge the Taoiseach's personal role in supporting the introduction of rapid testing in Ireland from his former office in the So, thank you to our staff. I want to thank also my heartfelt thanks and appreciation to the work of Niall Mulligan, our tireless Executive Director. Thank you, Niall. I'm supported by a really talented staff, really dedicated people. It's remarkable to see. And Marie Hamilton also want to mention for her help here. Thank you to our volunteers. HIV Ireland volunteers, people for nothing come and assist. Some of them are here tonight, and thank you for that. To my fellow board members, who give their time and expertise so generally, all here tonight. I was taking roll. I want to acknowledge the previous boards. We're a relatively new board. You can, if you like, say we're a relatively young board. We're definitely a relatively new board. We work in the footsteps of a board of people who gave blood, sweat and tears to an organisation over the years, at a time during the 1980s when things were really awful, and times were desperately sad for people, and also through difficulties in the organisation surviving. I want to thank the organisers of this event, particularly, as Miriam has said, the driving force of nature that has drawn it down. To the ad hoc committee that styled themselves, organisers, they styled themselves the Red Bull Dancers. They can prove it later. Ross, Carl, Vivienne, JB, Patrick, Craig and Alan. To our supporters and sponsors, thank you so much for your commitment to us. We promise to return in living up to that support and encouragement in providing services. Thank you particularly to supporters old and new, to Cardinal Capital, Coca-Cola, GSK and Sodexo. Also particularly want to thank Diageo and the Guinness Storehouse and their gorgeous staff. Thank you, Miriam and Baz, for giving of your time and expertise. Our co-MCs. Who I really do look forward to hearing again. And the reason why I say again is Camille really kindly sang at an event in Arsenal through our president. Received us on our 30th anniversary. And it was a beautiful evening, and Camille really added to it. So thank you again for coming to support us. The President is also now agreed to become the patron of the charity. We're very proud of that. tireless campaigner, will be here again on the decks. Yeah, I think we're going to. He's been very involved also, by the way, in the National AIDS Memorial proposal. We strongly support a National AIDS Memorial. Thank also Mr. Justice McMenamin of the Supreme Court for joining us as one of our guests. Finally, it's an honour for us as an inaugural ball to have representatives of various political parties who are the representatives of the people, and it does mean something to us that the representatives of the people come here. We will be looking for your support in whatever great offices of state you may ultimately be in. Now, or shortly in the future, or maybe longer in the future, maybe a minute with an hour. But particularly to Antisha, it's a great honour for you to you have honoured us by coming here. We really do appreciate your attendance. It means a lot to the organisation. And I thank you for that. I'm aware of your personal commitment. You've expressed it. You've expressed your commitment to Pride last year to working to tackle issues surrounding sexually transmitted infection. We pledge to work with you in delivering that and to work with public administration in the state. So, I think everybody else is happy. I'm going to give way. Thank you, Antisha.